Helen, is it a chance of third time lucky for Rebecca White?
Well, we're having an election that Tasmanians didn't need to have. I think the onus is now on the Premier. If he does not deliver a majority Liberal government, then he's failed because he's gone to an election early. And Tasmanians are sceptical about who's going to be the Premier, not necessarily just between Labor and Liberal, but will Jeremy Rockliff survive if he goes, as I believe he will, into a minority situation?
We will know soon enough. Andrew, what's your read as we start the night?
Well, it's 5 years to the day since Gladys Berejiklian took a stadiums policy to an election and won. So if that's an omen tonight, it was Golden Slipper Day. It was exactly 5 years ago today. Labor were campaigning schools and hospitals, not stadiums, and the Liberals prevailed in that election. The polling I received during the week indicated the Liberals will win more seats, far more seats than Labor, and that Jacqui Lambie will win seats. So that's something I'm looking out for tonight, to see if she can win as many as 4. But everyone coming into this election thinks it will be a hung parliament. If it is another bad result for Labor, that will be 2 weekends in a row of bad results for Labor after the Queensland by-elections. They do have a by-election in the state seat of Dunstan tonight, where Labor's expected to do very well. It's Stephen Marshall's old seat. But after Dunkley, it might bring the Labor brand down to earth a bit in terms of federally. They have to think, there are still cost of living problems out there. Labor's not absolutely flying on all fronts. So even though this will be decided on state issues, for the Labor brand, I think it's an important night to see where they're at in the Apple Isle.
Yeah, an upset in the Golden Slipper with Storm Boy knocked off. I wonder if we're getting an upset tonight. Ashley Gillen, what's your assessment as we start it? What's going to be an interesting night regardless as we deal with the Hare-Clark system?
Look, the Hare-Clark system really does everyone's head in, I think, and anyone who thinks that they can know at this point where those 6th and 7th seats are going to land, I think are really just guessing, because when it gets down to that level, it gets really tricky. And I think the most seasoned political watchers in Tasmania are saying this is too hard to guess. So there really could be some wild cards thrown up the end. Look, both the major parties, they need 18 seats for a majority. And unless the polls are very, very wrong, then that's not going to happen. So there is going to be a minority government. Who can form that is the big question, because the Liberals, as we know, they're likely to emerge with more seats. But a lot of the independents who seem more likely to get up than not seem to have more left-leaning policies. Plus, you throw in the Jacqui Lambie wild card factor too. She's been at war with Jeremy Rockliff over the past week. The Liberals, I think, have done major own goals in terms of their relationship with the Jacqui Lambie network over the last few days. So I think we won't know tonight. The next 2 week period is really where it's going to land, and we're going to have to be patient while all that gets worked out in the wash.